Welcome to Masterpiece Tarot. Here you'll find timeless messages to guide your soul's awakening. If you're here, trust. You are meant to be. You can show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing. These help support my mission of creating more peace on Earth. Okay, collective. I've decided to come on here and do a you and them reading. Thank you, Spirit, for using me as a channel to bring through these messages for the collective. We will do, it's a 5-card spread, and we'll look at you and them. We'll look at a bridging energy. We'll look at a strong point in the connection and then a weaker point. Okay. All right, Spirit. Let's get some cards here, please. We need one card for the collective. This is you, collective. This first card out is going to be you. Okay. First card out is you. Second card out is them. All right. Okay. You are here in the moon energy right now, collective. Okay. There's a sense that there may be some things that are, not being seen completely. These things may be coming to light. Yeah, we'll get a little bit more into it here in a moment. And what about them? The High Priestess. Okay, your person is in a very intuitive energy. They are perhaps tapping into some sacred knowledge. The letters B and J might be significant for you. The number 2 is the High Priestess card. And 18 is the moon. Okay. What's the bridging energy here? This is really interesting because these are both kind of lunar energies, like feminine energies here. But what's the bridge? Oh goodness, we've got a 3 of Swords. So you and your person may be going through some heartbreak at this time. And it doesn't have to mean a breakup. It can, but there's something between you perhaps right now that's really challenging. It's quite painful. Okay, what's a strong point in the connection here, Spirit? Movement. All right, so there's not stagnation here. There is movement. And that would be a strong thing if you're going through something like this, because it means you might be able to get out of this quickly, okay? Get out of this painful place. Hopefully get back to a little bit more harmony. What's a weak point here in the connection? The Hermit. Okay, you might both be somewhat avoidant. Or at this time you may find that one or both of you are needing to go into some solitude, do some inner work. Okay. Let's get some clarifiers here, Spirit. Let's clarify the moon. I'm going to give this just a real quick shuffle here. Clarify the moon. This is you, collective. These are things that are hidden. So at nighttime, we tend to see things in shades of gray. So there could be a sense of, shadows. Kind of a shadowy energy here. Which is that you're maybe partially aware of things, but it's not, bright daylight. It's sort of nighttime. We have a 6 of Wands. A Page of Wands. And a Knight of Cups. All moving in the same direction here. 6 of Wands is about being victorious. So something you're doing at this time, collective, may be, being seen and celebrated, perhaps by the community or by, people that you work with, loved ones. Pages, of course, are novices. And so this may be something new that you're doing. This tends to be a creative project, so you might have recently embarked on some type of creative project. Okay, and then with the Knight of Cups, we have a love offer. Okay, so I'm kind of getting the feeling here, collective, that you have, you know, just begun to embark on some type of a journey. Perhaps it's a new creative pursuit or endeavor, and already you're being seen and celebrated. It's almost as if, you know, perhaps there was hope that you would do this, and now that you're doing this, okay, even though you're a student, a novice, just starting to learn about it, there's love coming in for you. Okay, I think you really are being seen and celebrated. This is some type of a victory for you, collective. Okay, so this could be any kind of new endeavor. Okay, it could be creative, it could be, you know, something else that you're taking action on. It could be, you know, you've decided to start a business, some kind of social justice thing, any number of different things that you feel passionate about or that are creative in nature. And let's look at them. This is your partner, the person on your mind, your special person, your soulmate, your twin flame, however you want to label it, okay? Your bestie. There's an Ace of Cups. Fresh start in love. A Knight of Pentacles, another knight. This is a solid new beginning of some kind. Somebody's coming in perhaps to build. And an Ace of Pentacles. We have two aces, one in the cups, one pentacle. Two aces, and between it a Knight of Pentacles. And we have the High Priestess. Your person is looking at some kind of a new beginning. Okay? And they too have a knight. And, you know, in contrast to the creative energy that we see over here, actually you've got a Knight of Cups. This is a love message. They have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is building in the material. There's definitely, both of you are showing up with the cups and the pentacles. And your person is having some type of a new start in the material. But what's interesting is that your person seems to be sitting in High Priestess energy. So this is somebody who's tapping very much into their intuition at this time. They may be, you know, formulating a plan. They may be tapping into some divine wisdom, some inner guidance. They may not be saying a lot at this time, collective, as they're formulating this plan or just receiving downloads at this time about what it is that is going to be happening here with this Knight of Pentacles, this building here in the material world. So it's hard for me to understand why there's this heartbreak. The only thing that I can think, will clarify, but I'm wondering if you're not on your own paths at this time, and that separation could be causing some heartache. I do see there's a lot of alignment here. Okay. Whoa. The cats like to antagonize the dog sometimes, and that always startles me. Okay, let's clarify this Three of Swords, Spirit. Tell us why is the bridging energy here, this Three of Swords? The Seven of Swords, the Lovers, and another Knight, a Knight of Swords. Okay, this is somebody taking action. This is somebody in the air, with air energy. Somebody's taking action. They're bringing a message, perhaps, or some kind of an idea. They're coming toward the Lovers. The sword is about truth, but swords can also cut. They can also, you know, be words that wound, right? And over here we see a Seven of Swords. There's something deceitful. So I think this Lover's card in the middle represents you and your partner, you and them, okay? And on either side, we have some type of, you know, on the one hand, we have a deceitful energy that's sort of sneaking behind your back. And here we have somebody rushing full force at you with their sword up. So, you know, rather than this being energy between you, I'm actually reading this more as energy that is external to you, that's stirring up a lot of difficulty for you at this time. All right? It's causing a big it could be a blockage, it could be pain, it could be, you know, contributing to this separation that you're in right now. So let's see if we can figure out with this Wands energy, if this is a strong point in the connection, how can we leverage this strength to overcome this heartbreak? Because I do see that in your energy. If we take this bridging energy out, it's beautiful energy here, okay? We've got victory, okay, and we've got, you know, movement with love, okay, and creation energy on both sides. We have new starts on their side especially, okay? I also see that you're moving in the same direction, okay? All of the cards that have people on them between the two of you are moving in the same direction. There's a sense that there's a common goal here, all right? So this is the issue, all right? It's an external force that is causing problems for you. Now, of course, you know, what's within us tends to manifest on the outside. So you and or your person may be unconsciously manifesting these issues. There may be something in your own energy that needs to clear up, okay, so that this doesn't keep impacting you both, because clearly there is some love here. You are moving in the same direction. You're sitting in a very similar energy even, okay? You're like two peas in a pod here with the moon and the high priestess. So things that could be blocking, that would be internal. There could be an element of deception within self. Are you not being honest and transparent? You know, are you being open with your partner about your feelings, about your fears, about your dreams, your hopes, the challenges you're facing in your life? Are you being vulnerable? You know, if we're hiding important parts of self from ourselves or our partner, that could be a type of deception, okay? And then when that happens, you are more likely to attract people who reinforce, okay, deceptions, or, you know, things that aren't really aligned with your true self or what's true for you, okay? And with the Knight of Swords, this can be about, you know, swords are about mental, but it's also about communication. And if we're talking about a sabotaging energy from the external, there's a sense that somebody could be gossiping, saying unkind words, being judgmental. So is that something that is happening within you, consciously or unconsciously, that is showing up in your energy because there's a resonance? Okay, that is something so important to understand. This is why we attract things many times. We attract what needs to be worked out within so we can see it externally, and there is that opportunity to address it. It can be really hard to see the issues within ourselves, but unconsciously we project it and then attract it. Okay, so if there are issues around you happening in relationships, this would be a good lens through which to look at this, okay? Because you don't want to mess up a good thing, right? If you've got a good thing going, collective, you do your work, and then you can share what you learn with your person. And we're going to see, though, about this can be about communication, fast-moving messages, all moving towards this target, and interestingly, all going in the same direction as the both of you, okay? Spirit, please clarify. King of Swords, I like it. That's good. That's a great energy. Yeah, a Seven of Wands. Sweet. You know what? This is super fantastic because I can see, collective, that you have exactly the tools that you need within you to address this, okay? The King of Swords doesn't mess around. He doesn't fuck around, okay? He wields this sword. It's the sword of truth. He's mastered the mental, and he will use his discernment and his discretion and be decisive when it comes to figuring out what's true and cutting off anything that is messing things up, okay? That anything that's not serving him and his interests. So collective, this is a strong message for you. Get into that King of Swords energy, okay? Get decisive. Figure out what you need to do, okay? Seven of Wands is another energy of inner strength and fortitude. Okay, this individual, this is you here, collective, I think. You are standing up for what you believe. You're defending yourself. You are super strong. This card represents somebody who's incredibly strong. And with Justice, here you see, she's also holding up a sword. She's all about truth, but also about balancing things out. Okay? And I like this image because you can see one scale is white and the other one is dark. So it's almost like we're balancing out the internal and the external in this situation. Okay? What's yours and what's not. And you're going to use your discernment to figure out how you need to balance these scales so that they work in your favor. Okay, because you are the justice. You're going to bring this justice. This is not outside of you. Somebody else isn't going to do this. You are, collective, okay? So if you are dealing with somebody who's sabotaging things for you, deal with it. You know what to do. Be assertive. That's what swords energies do, especially the Knight of Swords. Okay? If you've got somebody who's sneaking around, or if you yourself are deceiving yourself, look at it. Figure it out. If it's a limiting self-belief or a belief system that's BS, cut it, okay? Use that fire energy in the Seven of Wands and the Eight of Wands to transmute the energy, okay? So you've got some good tools here, collective, and I am very confident that you will be able to use that energy to your advantage. And this is something that you share, okay? This is something between you. Talk about it with your person, okay? If it's what's needed, if this resonates for you. Why the Hermit? Tell us about this tendency to want to go within. A Nine of Wands, okay? Maybe because you're feeling a little bit banged up, like a wounded warrior here. More fire energy. We got a lot of fire energy here. Ten of Swords, okay? There's a sense of injury. There's a sense of being stabbed in the back, which would make sense with the Three of Swords, the Knight of Swords coming at the lovers, and the Seven of Swords sneaking around behind the back. And last but not least, a Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, you're sitting in this energy like, I feel like maybe you two haven't quite come together yet. You know, maybe you're dating, or maybe you have a strong interest and you're at a point where you're not really together yet. And so it's easy, you might be lovers, but you might not be in a full-blown commitment yet, okay? And I'm saying that because, in a way, I'm seeing so much vulnerability here, in a way, with attracting these energies. It's this like divide and conquer thing, you know? And we're vulnerable in a way when we're single. And so you might recognize this, collective, and therefore, because you don't want your energy to be tainted at this time while you've got this lovers situation going on, you've got somebody that you're strongly interested in, and you're trying to preserve what you do have and stand up against these forces, okay? But, you know, because you're attracting these forces, okay, the two of you, you're attracting this chaos to some extent, okay, possibly unconsciously because of stuff within you. But because of that, you're recognizing that you need to pull back. But the result of being in this solitude is, you know, you're isolated, okay? Nines, we have 2 9s here. In fact, no, we have 3 9s. 999, you guys, because Hermit's a 9. Wow, and then a 10. So you're really nearing a completion here, and it is going to complete, because here we have a 10. So this weakness, this weak point, this being in the Hermit is going to come to an end soon, but for the time being, you're vulnerable because you're hurting inside. You're probably questioning a lot of things. You may be doubting yourself a lot. And collective, with you being in the moon energy here, you're spending a lot of time looking at your shadows or working through shadow, right? These are those unconscious things that belief systems, ideas, thoughts, experiences, aspects of self that you have lost along the way, and that you're needing to call back to yourself to restore your power. So I'm seeing a lot of this energy of healing, lots of healing happening right now between the two of you, okay? So I think if you two can withstand what you're going through, this looks like a tough time, not gonna lie, it really does. But what I see is you have incredible strength, both of you, incredible strength. And not only that, you have a lot of alignment in your energies. And not only that, right in the dead center in the middle, the lovers. There's something that you share. There's a connection here, a real connection. It's coming out in the cards. You guys are experiencing this completely together. You might even be twins. Hard to say, but the energy sure feels aligned here, okay? Messages, please, Spirit. Discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. This could go anywhere on this board, but I think we should put it in the middle where there's connecting energy. You can maintain your strength. You can make it through the solitude, the separation, and you can withstand these external pressures. So I'm going to put it right in the middle. You've got the discipline to do it because of these cards up here, okay? Yeah, I'm just really drawn to this right here. This 9, 9, 9. But it came out 9, 9, 10, 9. Anyway, yeah, that is just... I'm going to look at these one more time, too. Yeah, King of Swords, the Seven of Wands, and Justice here. It's hard to hold all these cards, you know what I mean? But I just want to have a look at it. Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys have a lot of strength between the both of you. Whoever I'm reading for, collective. Okay. This might resonate for you. Purpose. I know what I am here to do. Yeah. I think you guys might be healers. If you're twin flames, you have purpose together. You have a shared purpose, most likely. It may be something that you have yet to discover. If you're still not in a union yet and you're susceptible to these forces. But I think as you if you're able to continue to overcome these and maintain your bond, your purpose is going to become more and more clear to you. And it may be to help other people get through these types of situations even. One more, please, Spirit. Denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. That's got to go down here with all these nines. With the Nine of Wands and Swords. Burdens. Okay? We were talking about denial here as well in the center. And it's true. It can be scary. I don't know. There are other words besides scary, but frightening, daunting, okay, to realize that the reason why you've attracted some of these crappy situations into your life, if that's how you perceive it, whether it's chaos within a family, workplace chaos, a lot of times we attract what we are unconsciously projecting out there or what we haven't resolved within ourselves from our past. Okay? Alrighty, collective. Those are your messages. I hope that's helpful. Bye for now.